Hey y'all, it's me. Kind of poo. I don't know what's on my. Guess I should have cleaned my lenses, but anyway, on the recovery mode. I am feeling a little better, just still kind of weak. Not sure what kind of crud moved around through our house, but everybody got sick except for Huey, and which is unusual because he was usually the one that suffers the brunt of whatever's going around. Let me see if I can get around here in front of this dude, if he'll turn around for me. Now, check that out. Is he not a beauty? Ferdinand, be still. I want to get a good picture of you, silly dude. Look at you. What a pretty boy. What a pretty boy. Sweet, sweet baby. Sweet, sweet baby. Look at you. Strutting his little stuff for his girl. Yeah, he even struts his stuff for the chickens. I don't know why. I'm not asking any questions. But anyway, Isabella doesn't seem to really care so much. But is that not just an absolutely gorgeous creature? Yes, he is. All right, y'all. We're going to walk a little bit, but we're going to walk right here on the farm. I just don't think I'm quite up to strolling fast in the cemetery. Not that I have to stroll fast just because I'm in the cemetery. But this way I'm just here in case I get too winded. I can just stop. We can go sit down and rock and chat. Hey, baby. There comes another chicken. Hi, darling. Such sweet girls. I know you're such a sweetheart. I know. You tell me that same story every time I come out here. I love my chickens. They're quite comical. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I know. You're just all so funny. Don't you love the funny little sounds they make? They are so sweet. Funny chickens. All right. We just had a tree service drop off a load of mulch. I'll take you around here and show it to you. I'm very excited about it. What are you girls finding, huh? What you finding? Say. I didn't bring any scratch out. I guess I could. Let me go get them some scratch. You all will enjoy seeing them run. Seeing them come flying. Pops is down there straightening hose, I think. And I have all, I'm turning this around so you can't see my dirty porch. I finally have, oops, where's the scratch? Oh, there it is. All of my, look at these kitties. Hi, darlings. And this one, Chelsea has named Fancy. They're not all named yet, but they're everywhere. And the chickens are everywhere. And at some point, you know what? I really want to work toward getting them all contained in the back, because I'll never have a flower bed up here. Look. Yes. And over there's George. I don't know what he's looking for. There's actually 2 nests up here. And the geese have been laying on them. Now the chickens are over here, and they've broken some of the eggs, I've noticed. What are you doing? Leave those alone. That's not yours. There's one, and back there's one. And the last couple of days, there's actually been geese laying on them. So I'm assuming that Maybe the eggs are viable and they're going to try to hatch them. I don't know. All right, we have chickens in so many directions, I won't know which way to point the camera. Let me see. Come on, chick, 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 chick. Come on, chick, 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 chick. Well, they're usually running by now. They must have their bellies full. Come on, chick, 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 chick. I'm not carrying a bucket. Come on, chick, 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 chick. Come on, chick, 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 chick. There they come. Come on, chick, 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 chick. Come on, chick, 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 chick. Come on, chick, 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 chick. Wasn't talking to you guys. The geese are up there. And there comes Ferdinand and Isabella. Come over here in the daylight. Let people see those pretty feathers in the daylight. Weirdo. Yeah, just a little scratch for them to come gather around. You see the tail feathers on him? That's actually more what he's showing off for the girls than the feathers in the front that are so pretty. And they make a rustling sound. Let me see if we can hear it. Did you hear that? It's a very interesting sound that he makes. If he would turn around here in the sunshine. Come here, darling. Come here, let's see you. Ferdinand. Come on around. Come on around. There's a little bit of sunshine on him. Look how pretty you are, dude. Look how pretty you are. I don't know if this camera's picking that up or not. Do you hear that? I just think that's so kooky. It's fascinating. No, Isabella's saying, telling these girls to get away from her man. Way to go, sister. Bless. What a sound. It's such a strange sound. All right. But anyway, we were headed over here where I'm going to show you the tree service. Uh-oh. Here comes Hugh with a lawnmower. Apparently he thinks he's either going to go work on it or he's going to go mow something. I'm not sure which. He gets his mind wrapped around something, and you can't encourage him to wait for a couple days till all these younger fellas around here are feeling better. Of course, it's a rider, so I actually enjoy riding on a rider myself. You know what I just noticed? There's some shingles. Maybe. I think I see some damage on our roof. We're probably going to have to see about making some roof repairs after that horrible windstorm we had the other day. It was frightening, and I know that there's a lot of you that experienced the same thing, because some of the comments that I heard were talking about the enormous wind. Some of you were actually very close to tornado activity, so I sure hope we're not going to experience a really nasty springtime. We're going to say no, we're not. We're just not going to do that. It's going to be a beautiful spring. And here's a site that I love. The tree service, when they do arbor work up in here, the guy that owns it is a buddy of Hugh's from many years past. So Hugh has told him anytime he needs to just empty out, instead of taking it back wherever he typically unloads, just dump it right here, and we have a use for it. Always. Always, always, always. What part of this I'm pretty certain is going to be in Aaron's dog lot. Copper is a digger. So Aaron's going to have to fill some holes and pack them pretty tightly, and then hopefully just mulch pretty thick. And what he doesn't use, I'm going to probably put some mulch, some cardboard down, and then some mulch in my pathways between my garden beds. That will just be lovely. I don't know why I've got you guys pointed at the ground again. I don't know why I do that. Let me do it that way. If I turn it all the way back, then I can see better. Look how green. Do y'all see this? Oh, and I love the smell of that freshly chopped up. It smells very, very piney. But look at this. I'm seeing green, 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 green pastures. That's such a beautiful, beautiful sight. What about y'all? I know some of y'all are still having lots and lots of snow, and they're calling for snow here on Saturday. But I'm going to hope that's not going to happen. Hey, kitty, kitty. Hi, darling. Some of these kitties have become very friendly and will let you pet them. And some of them are still kind of skittish. No, she's not going to let me near her. Look how blue the sky is today. And there's George and all of his rooster glory. I love that rooster. Isn't he beautiful? He really is a very, very pretty rooster. But I'm going to sit down for a minute, guys. Feeling just a little bit weak. But it never really turned into anything. It was basically just pretty significant tiredness, and I would kind of turn hot and cold. I don't know if I was actually ever really running a fever. Just hot and cold. And Aaron's got a full-blown chest thing going on. I know some of you will notice you hadn't seen him in a few days, but he's pretty much been in bed. He's just feeling really, really bad, coughing his head off. And he did go by Ingles the other day and have a COVID test. So I know his was fresh. Let me show you Isabella walking through here. Isn't she pretty? And she's going back there where the goose eggs are. Those aren't yours, baby. By the end of March, I hope to have all of that cleaned up and cleaned out, and the weeds under control, all the junk gone out of them, and hopefully ready to actually... Yes, there's Ferdinand. He's loud too. Wow. But have plenty of flowers ready to go in. No vegetables this year. I think I've explained to y'all that we have too many kitties up here to plant vegetables. Look, there's George. Hi, George. Hi, darling. Look at you. You're such a pretty boy. He says I'm a little camera shy. Okay. But anyway, there's just not a good place for vegetables up here, with the critters, especially the kitty cats, choosing to use the beds as flower box, as a litter box. And that's one of the reasons I've got to put chicken wire all the way around my big garden area, because I do want to keep all of the critters out if I can. And at some point, I hope to be able to keep all of the chickens from coming up here, because they come up here and they eat the kitty food and they poop all over my porch. And right now it's just, you know, it's gross, but my porch is just a catch-all for all the containers of animal feed and everything, so it's not like I enjoy it. But hopefully by spring, late spring, the porch is going to be cleaned off. The buildings will be built to house all the animal feed, and I'll have a a little building that will also house all of my gardening tools and supplies. And I'll have room for my furniture to go back up there. But there's going to be a porch railing built and a gate all the way around so that these guys cannot be up there making a mess on my porch. And the kitty cats will still be able to go up there, but the kitty cats do not really make a mess. That's just where they eat, and they just use the flower beds for a bathroom. So the flower beds can only have flowers in them. And I've got some black hollyhock. And look over there against that big white wall. That's where the black hollyhock's gonna go. I think the area will get plenty of sunshine for hollyhock. And I have some colorful, some smaller hollyhock that will go down maybe in front. But I just have tons and tons and tons and tons of flowers to put in here. And it will be pretty. Isabel, come over here, darling, in the sunshine, so everybody can see your beautiful colors. She doesn't get nearly enough credit for her color, but she carries a lot of the same color that Ferdinand does, but just not in the volume. Of course, she doesn't have the big tail feathers like he does. Come over here, darling. But all of her colors on her neck and up around her head. She's a really pretty bird. Hey, kitty. Look at that pretty little kitty. Oh. She says, I'm getting out of Dodge. There comes Isabel. She's a really big bird. Come here. Come here, George. Come here, darling. But anyway, I can't wait for y'all to I can't wait to see it when it's cleaned up this year and put back to rights. There's constantly been some kind of building project going on, so that and last year I dug up all of the roses that were in this garden, because I had an intention for this garden. I was going to make this garden just a big kitchen garden, but that's before all the kitties came here to live and all of the birds. And so I had this. It was a kitchen garden last year, and then we started building things here and there, and the other things wood piles got just put outside the door, and with the intention of going to the wood pile, and they will. But there's just more projects going on than we have enough collective time to finish up. But I think I'm ready to, and that's the thing, is where do you say, okay, nobody's starting another project until we get all these others finished up? Because sometimes another project needs to be done before that last project can actually be finished up. I don't know, guys. It will all come to fruition, and it will be wonderful when it does. But I think at some point I need to back down a little bit on my projects. And my biggest hope is to get started over there with all the propagation boxes. But I think that one's going to be a next year project. This year, I just need to concentrate on the gardening. But speaking of gardening, come on, let me take you up here and show you what has transpired since we made chocolate gravy the other day. Hi, darlings. You gonna move, mamas? You gonna move? Your feathers are all ruffled. Just a little windy out here. All right. This is why Aiden said the other day, yeah, it looks like you're growing pot on the porch. I do have some grow lights on the porch. I've got to come in here today and get them all set up because I have a bunch more that need to come out here in the next few days. But I never did get any put in these soil blocks, and I didn't realize that. But see back there, some little guys coming on. There's some little guys. And there's some bigger little guys. And there's some good sized little guys. And there's the peas. And there's cabbages. And we have all kinds of things. And you know, the funny thing is Hugh came in this morning and he said, you know that bucket? He said, you know that that bucket of dirt that you set on the porch the other day? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, it's full of peas. And so apparently all those peas that I thought had gotten cooked had not. They were fine and were well on their way to becoming a little plant. So I don't know if he did anything with them, but he brought them in and showed them to me. And sure enough, there's probably about 8 or 10 little pea plants that had been close enough to the top to germinate and become a viable little plant. If he didn't do anything with them, I'll go ahead and set them out when I set the rest of them out. This is a gorgeous day, and it's just kind of setting us up for sadness. Not sadness, but you know what I mean. When you have a day like this, and then 3 days later it's supposed to be down in the 30s and snowing, that's kind of poopy. Oh well. And these chickens have truly become free range. I don't mind them coming this far over, but what worries me is that I've seen them over there awfully close to the road. So that's one of the reasons that I want to just go ahead and fence the yard completely off, and well, the back part of the yard anyway, and hopefully just discourage them from. I don't think they'll find their way around if I fence the back part of the yard off and the fence back there, or the gate. I think maybe they'll stay back there. It'd be an awful lot of trouble for them to try to find their way around all of those booby traps. So, oh, look at the bluebird. You see it on top of that fence post? They're gonna fuss at me. There he goes. He's blue. So anyway, I'm not going to go any closer to them because they're so noisy. But last night, Hugh and I, we went and closed them up and only counted 8. And so I was concerned about where was number 9. And he went down the road over there behind the barn. And I came out this way. And I immediately found her. She was actually sitting on the nest that's right there in the corner next to the handrail, the steps. But she was so still and positioned in such a way that unless you stood and let your eyes really focus, because it was dusky dark, you wouldn't have seen her. So Hugh hadn't seen her and went down the other direction. But it concerned me that she was outside, all just by herself, sitting on a nest of eggs. And Thursday it's supposed to start raining again. So I'm going to go down to the barn in a few minutes and get a big piece of plywood, or a piece of that old paneling out of Aaron's apartment, and cut it and make her just a tiny little roof so that she won't at least be sitting in the rain, in case that's something that she determines she's going to do. What's wrong with you? You can't get through there, weirdo. See, she's going to have to come on up here where the fence becomes more suitable for her to climb through. But we are just a barnyard full of feathery critters. That's not anything really that anybody here had planned for. I never expected it. I mean, I knew that eventually we would have chickens, free ranging. The geese, you know their story, how they came about. That wasn't a planned thing. The mallards, they've just decided to stick around. I thought that once they got bigger, that they would take off and go find themselves their own little neck of the woods. But no, they come flying in every day about 5 o'clock. And they land in the pond back there, waiting on dinner. And that's really pretty funny. So I guess they're just a permanent fixture here. Of course, we probably never would have gotten anything like the peacocks had it not been for Aaron coming home and bringing them. And I love those birds. They are absolutely glorious to watch. They are so beautiful. And so we've just become a barnyard of feathery critters. And that's absolutely fine. But I really, really do want to get them all contained in the back here, so that this part of the yard up here just isn't somewhere they can come easily. Oh well. Maybe the next time we walk, we will go up to the graveyard and walk. I didn't even stroll today. I just kind of moved. I moved slowly, very slowly. But it's nice to come out and spend time with my creatures. They're so beautiful. And they are so funny. I hate it when I read some of your comments that you used to have chickens and don't really have room to keep them anymore. That's just sad. Because I think they're the most fun creatures ever. And funny. The geese are comical too. There comes pretty kitty. Hi, darling. She says, I'm not slowing down for you or anybody. But the geese, I'm just not going to suggest anybody get them, because they are a handful. What we have we'll keep here for in perpetuity. They're here, and I've told my kids, one of you has got to learn to love them, because geese live to be 25 to 30 years old. Look at that pretty kitty. Hi, darling. Yeah, the wind got everything the other night. Nothing's been put back away. And I've got to come out here and make more soil blocks, because all the soil blocks in my dining room are filled. And they're not doing anything yet, so I'll take you in and show you as soon as they start showing some signs of life. And let's sit back down. Gosh. And hopefully within the next couple of days I'll have some energy. This is ridiculous. I don't know, maybe I've got the bird flu. I don't know if people can get it or not, but I've got the I just don't want to something. But anyway, I did just want to chat with y'all a little bit. This week there's lots of plans and lots of good intentions, and we'll see if the energy picks up and moves us along in the direction we need to go. If not, we'll just do what we can. But we didn't get to have, sorry, squirrel. We didn't get to have our live the other night, and that is something I think we can make happen tomorrow or Tuesday. And I look forward to that, and I'll let you know for certain if it's going to happen. Aaron will have to be feeling quite a bit better, because he's my IT person. Hugh and I just have no idea how to go about making that happen. But if Aaron's feeling better and can set my camera where it needs to go so that we can chat with y'all, we'll do that. But in the meantime, it is Monday. I'll be posting this so that it will hit about midnight tonight, so some of y'all will see it at all different times, and I just want you to know you're loved. I hope that your week is has started well, and that for all of us, I hope that we have lots of health, energy, and good weather. Let's wish each other good weather. All right, blessings, y'all. Love you. Bye bye.